no, you don't.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we won tonight. Let's go. Big win over the BC Lions. This is a game that I was a tad concerned about it being a closer one, just because BC looks to be a bit more of a contender than some of the other teams, with the exception of that being Saskatchewan, which was the clear other contender. However, we already disposed of them. But let's get right into this. So first off, the pregame, Grant is back. Great. We got Richardson back at D-tackle. Great. I was worried because he almost got injured later in the game. He got hurt, but he got back up. But it's good. It's really good to have those guys back, just because in a season like this, it's so important, where we really think we can make a run at the Grey Cup. We got to have everyone together all the time, so they're playing with each other, they're getting used to each other, they're getting ready for playoffs, because this is our year. And even though this past season was our year and we won the Grey Cup, there's no reason we can't win another one. And this Bomber team is is stronger than it's been in a long time. So we got the tools. We just got to put it together. But anyway, that'll bring us into our first quarter, and we start off with a big early sack reaction here. Come on. Oh, take him here. Take him here. Take him here. Take him down. Take him. Yes. Woo! And I was loving this because it's great to start the game like that. Start strong, start tough, and I was loving it. Riley hits a huge pass to Burnham, and I was expecting this. I was expecting that Burnham would do really well with this. I expect that Whitehead was going to do great as well, but we'll get to that later. And then the BC Lions would get a field goal, and it'd be 3-0 Lions. Now, one thing I noticed right when we went back on our second drive was I was fucking loving this O-line. Specifically at this point in the game, the middle three, your two guards and your center. They took no holding penalties. They locked on every time. They didn't give them an inch. And I thought that overall this game was a fantastic game by the O-line, who I don't think are getting as much credit as they deserve. Because, yes, there was a few times where the BC defense was able to penetrate through, but that is inevitable in any game of football. But them putting up as good of a performance as they did, it definitely needs to be noted more than I think it is being noted. Mortada would hit a field goal. It was just a 5-yard field goal. It was something that you should never miss it, ever. But it's important that he gets it, and it's important that he gets these easy ones, so that way when he builds up confidence, or when he goes for harder ones, he actually has a chance of hitting them. Mortada had a good game. I found that he was really able to excel at the little that he had to do. So I feel like that was a really strong thing, and I hope he keeps that going forward and builds up his confidence even more. Whitehead would get a hand injury and would be reported at the time as they said he was out for the game. So at that point, I was thinking, holy shit, this is a huge loss for BC, because I thought this was going to be Whitehead's game, going against his former team. I thought that this was going to be, oh boy, I thought he was going to be scary. And he was for the time that he was in. But that would bring us to the second quarter, where Kenny Lawler would get a touchdown. And sadly, I was having camera difficulties, and I was not able to capture my reaction to that. But I was excited, as you would, of course, imagine, whenever we get a touchdown. And the convert was good, and that would make this a 10-3 football game. And then immediately after, we get a sack by Jackson fucking Jeffcoat. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Nice! Yes! There we go. Second of the game. Let's go. This defense, man. This defense. It's too good. It has been too good, and it will continue to be too good. That was one thing that I thought was huge about this game. We needed our defense running on every cylinder. All of them. Against guys like Whitehead and Burnham. And you know what? We did pretty damn good against them, and we really did. I loved our pass rush, and it caused 5 sacks today. 5 sacks for a pass rush. BC would have 3 players jump offside, 5-yard penalty. And originally, I heard announcers saying like, "Oh, I think one of them jumped offside." And I look, and you see the replay. You see 3 guys all jumped offside. So, and then BC would then immediately after take a illegal contact on the receiver, and that would be a 10-yard penalty. So BC has to be a bit more disciplined, but that's not my problem now, is it? There would be a huge pass to Kenny Lawler. Lawler had a great game. Of course he did. Lawler always has a great game, except for that one game where Caleros forgot to pass to him because he forgot that he existed. But he remembered that this game. And then immediately after, we would get a touchdown. Let's fucking go. And let's go. I was having camera difficulties with my phone again, and it almost didn't record. I didn't have time to set it up, but let's fucking go. And once again, the convert was good. That would make this a 17-3 game, and we would go back and forth a little. BC would then get a field goal, and we would end the half 17-6. Now, one quick note that I want to put into this was how different the Bombers seemed in the aspect of how they would switch between their running and passing offense. Because normally, and they do this all through the season, and they did this today, as they would run the ball up the throat for the first 5 minutes of the quarter and really kind of take advantage of this defense before they start getting used to it. Now, the problem that the Bombers always ran into is they would keep doing that into the second and third quarter, and teams would start to figure this out. Now, one thing I loved was the second BC started to figure out that run offense, immediately Bombers switched to a passing offense, and would result in 87% of our offense was passing. And holy shit, I thought this was great because all of our receivers were on point. Caleros had a fantastic game. And, you know, I think Riley had a good game too. I think he had a lot of shit that he had to go through that he couldn't deal with. The constant sacking, but is what it is. But I noticed that we adjusted. And that's one thing I think that really sets this game apart from a lot of the other ones that we've had, is that I didn't see the slump. Normally we go into the slump because we fail to adapt. And this game, I thought we adapted perfectly, and I was loving it. Anyways, that'll bring us into our third quarter. Whitehead is back! Sort of. He's back, he's playing, but you can definitely tell that this guy really only has one catching hand. So I guess that really sadly shows a little bit of the lack of depth on this BC team. Like, because Whitehead is a fantastic player. But, you know, the fact that he is still on the field as a receiver, and you can't have any other backups who would do better with 2 hands than he can with 1, kind of says something. Mainly, the main thing about Whitehead is just his speed, though. That it's insane, which is why he's had so much success in this league and will continue to do so. We would then get an extremely weird sack reaction here. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh my God! What is happening? We just got the ball, but what the hell? So yeah, I originally said that I thought we got the ball, but then looking back at it, I was like, oh yeah, of course, this is just a sack because it was an incomplete pass. Because he was, you know, throwing it. But, you know, it is what it is. Will not complain about a sack. Ball is in ours, ruled incomplete pass, as I just said. And Mortada would get another field goal and make this 20-6. Reaction here. There we go. There we go. I know it's not the most challenging kick, but if we can get some level of consistency in there, once we get back further back, hopefully this builds up some confidence for him. This is going good for him. Good, consistent, keep going, Mortada. And Big Hill would get a sack. and my camera had issues again, but I didn't have the craziest reaction because I had gotten used to us getting sacks at this point in the game. And I thought, you know, fuck it, awesome. Wolitarski takes an awkward hit to the leg. I was really concerned about this when I first saw it, and he went off. I believe he went back on later in the game. If not, he should be ready for this next game. Just because I believe he was able to walk off by himself. He didn't need anyone helping him off, which is always a good sign. Because if they're not walking off by themselves, it does not mean that they won't. It means they can't. That is one thing that I've learned from playing football. And that is one thing that I've learned, because, you know, coach will be hard on your ass if you can walk off the field, but you're letting someone carry you. Lawler would then get a catch and immediately fumble the ball. You know, he's had such a great game. We can't really brag on him for that. And then we've got another sack! Reaction here. Nice! Get him down! Yes! Love it. Then we get, then BC would get another field goal. It would be 20-9. And then there would be a huge catch by Dembski. And he would actually make this catch through a pass interference that was obviously declined, as I think we got 39 yards off this, if I believe so, if my memory serves me right. So, reaction here. Oh! Yes! Nice! Woo! And that would be the end of the third quarter, bringing us into the fourth quarter. Mortada would immediately get a field goal and make this 23-9. Reaction here. All right, Mortada. It's not a hard kick, but just hit this one again. There we go. Exactly. Just build up consistency. Consistent. Keep going. And then we would it would go back and forth a bit. And one thing I noticed at this point in the game, this is really when I started to notice for the entirety of the O-line, how just stellar this O-line was. Especially their pass protection, the way that they were able to keep it out and also keep out those outside contain guys and be able to create holes when they needed to. When Caleras wanted to scramble outside the pocket, they were able to separate, make room for him, and Caleras worked his magic as he always does. And then at that point, we would get, I just listed it as sack number 5 because it just kept happening. Let's get some big defense here, boys. Big defense. Big defense. Yes! Yes! Defense wins championships. It really does. And there would be another big pass and long run by Kenny Lawler, who's already been having a great game. You forgive him for that one fumble. You do it now. You forgive him. He got like 200 yards this game. I don't want to hear it. Sorry, I saw someone shitting on him online, and I thought it was not right. I was like, it's one play. It's a big game, one play, and he was fantastic the rest of it. And there would be a pass interference, and there would be the ball on the BC 1-yard line. And you know what it is. It's time for McGuire. And no, not that McGuire. This one. Will he get 7? Yeah, he will. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Sean McGuire, touchdown number 7 of the season. You know, with him being the backup QB, he only gets in a few plays a game, but he always makes them count. That's why I love him as a backup QB. Let's go. I'm sorry. It's not Toby McGuire. Sean McGuire. Not going back to that. Anyways, the convert would be good. It would be 30-9. Jones would then get an interception in the end zone. And one thing that I didn't even realize, it had been 8 games, and all we've let up is 6 points in the fourth quarter. 2 field goals, and that's it. That's insane. That is beyond me. I swear to God, this is like, if this game does not show you that this is a year for us, this is it. We need to just cash in everything. Mortada, I hope he keeps getting better. I hope he gets tested with some longer kicks because I think he needs to. And you know what? We're gonna find out if he sinks or swims. If he swims, great. I don't care who it is. We want a good kicker. We saw that this game. However, he didn't really need to be a good kicker in the sense of he wasn't really challenged this game. So I hope we do start to see some sort of evidence that this guy's really the guy to go forward. Because if not, the Redblacks have this kicker that I wouldn't mind having. So we would have to trade for one. Because, and for those saying, oh yeah, we don't want to give up draft picks, that gets rid of our future. The future is now. The team we have is built for now. That's why I never understood some teams in like the NHL where it's like, oh yeah, we have a cup contending team, but how dare we trade a draft pick for a rental? I understand if you don't want to use it like 3-4 years in a row. I get that. You don't want to always get rid of your first round pick. But at the end of the day, if you win the Stanley Cup, it's all worth it. The same way that if you win the Grey Cup, it's all worth it. It's the holy grail of Canadian football, So overall, I thought this was our most consistent game. I thought that, if we play like this every game, there's not a single team in the league that I think can stop us. I think that we need, and one thing that I noticed from what I heard from one of the interviews of the Bomber players, I can't remember which guy it was, is that they actually try to stay as much off of social media and all these platforms as possible. Some of them, not all of them, obviously, to avoid all the almost hype about the Bombers because they want to be zoned in for the game. They don't want to think about, oh yeah, they're great at this. No. It doesn't matter because there's the next game. And you have to prove it. Otherwise, it's worthless. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Our Jets reactions are back. We're in the Jets preseason right now, and then obviously going into the regular season, those will continue. So check those out if you haven't already, and if you're a hockey fan. My Week 9 CFL preview came out. My review will come out after all these games have been completed. So check that out, and check out that when it does come out. And just see you guys later.